What if I told you that The Testament Season 1 Episode 8 could be the moment everything finally changes? Because after weeks of pressure, secrets, fear, and silent rebellion, Episode 8, titled Broken, looks ready to push every major character to their absolute limit. And if the title is any clue, someone in this episode is going to snap emotionally, mentally, or politically. And once we break down everything teased so far, it becomes clear that Agnes may be heading toward the most devastating moment of her life, while Daisy could be only seconds away from losing everything she has been hiding. So let's break down exactly what may happen in this explosive new episode. We begin with Agnes, because right now she stands at the center of the storm, and after everything she has endured, episode the 8th of May finally force her into the nightmare she has feared from the very beginning, a marriage arranged by Gilead that strips away the last bit of freedom she has left. And reports suggest wedding preparations begin quickly, showing just how little control Agnes has over her own future. And if that happens, expect some of the most emotional scenes of the season as Agnes realizes no one is coming to save her, at least not yet. Because for Agnes this is no longer about fear, it is about survival. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that Agnes has slowly started waking up to the truth of the system around her, and she now understands that obedience does not guarantee safety, silence does not guarantee peace, and loyalty does not guarantee mercy. So being forced into marriage now could become the final betrayal that transforms her from frightened victim into determined rebel. And if Episode 8 truly wants to shock viewers, it may show Agnes making a bold decision no one expected. But Agnes is not alone in this chaos, because Garth may become one of the most important characters in this episode, and after their growing emotional connection, many fans believe he may be the one person willing to risk everything for her, whether that means helping her escape, exposing Weston, or secretly working with resistance forces. And if Garth steps in now, it would instantly raise the stakes, because helping Agnes would place a target directly on his back, and in Gilead, compassion can be just as dangerous as rebellion. Now let's talk about Daisy, because while Agnes faces danger in plain sight, Daisy is dealing with danger hidden in the shadows, and the biggest tease for Episode 8 says she is hiding a life-altering secret, which immediately tells us that whatever Daisy knows can no longer stay buried for much longer. And there are several possibilities here, because this secret could involve her real identity, her connection to Agnes, a hidden mission tied to Mayday, or shocking information about her family that changes how she sees herself. If Daisy's secret is exposed, the consequences could be massive, because she has been living between worlds, balancing lies, trust, and survival. But one mistake can destroy everything. And Episode the 8th of May place her in a situation where she must choose between protecting herself or protecting others. And those are the kinds of choices that define a character forever. So do not be surprised if Daisy emerges from this episode completely changed. And then there is Hulda, whose brave actions recently may now come with a brutal cost, because in Gilead speaking out is never ignored. And Episode 8 could show punishment designed not only to hurt Hulda, but to terrify everyone watching, making her storyline one of the darkest in the series so far. Yet, there is another possibility. Because sometimes cruelty creates resistance instead of fear, and Hulda suffering publicly may inspire others to question the regime in silence. That brings us to Aunt Lydia, who continues to be one of the most unpredictable players in the story, because while she appears loyal on the surface, every episode suggests she is planning something deeper beneath the shadows. And Episode the 8th of May finally give us another major clue about where her true loyalty lies. Because if Agnes is forced into marriage and Daisy's secret is about to explode, Lydia may decide the time has come to interfere, manipulate events, or protect certain people for reasons only she understands. The reason this episode is called Broken may have several meanings, and that is what makes it so powerful, because Agnes may be broken emotionally by the forced marriage, Daisy's cover may be broken by exposure, Hulda may be broken physically by punishment, or perhaps Gilead itself begins to break as cracks spread through the system. And if the writers are smart, all four meanings could happen at once. Now let's predict the biggest scenes we may see, because first, expect a tense and emotional sequence involving Agnes being prepared for marriage while trying to hide panic and rage. Second, expect Daisy to receive shocking information or be confronted by someone who knows the truth. Third, expect Hulda's punishment to send fear through the community. Fourth, expect Garth to make a dangerous move. And finally, expect Aunt Lydia to watch everything carefully while quietly setting another plan into motion. And we absolutely need to talk about the ending, because this show has been building toward a moment where someone finally refuses to play by Gilead's rules. So Episode 8 could end with Agnes rejecting the marriage publicly, Daisy being captured after exposure, Garth helping with an escape attempt, or Aunt Lydia revealing that she has been orchestrating moves behind the scenes all along, and any one of those endings would send viewers straight into panic mode waiting for episode. Emotionally, this may be the strongest episode yet because every main character appears trapped in a different kind of prison, Agnes by power, Daisy by secrets, Hulda by fear, Garth by impossible choices, and Lydia by the dangerous game she is playing. And when characters are trapped, they either surrender or fight back, which is exactly why episode 8 feels like a turning point. So here is the biggest prediction of all. By the end of this episode, someone who seemed powerless will become dangerous, someone trusted will be exposed, and someone feared will lose control. And once that happens, the final stretch of the season could become total chaos. If you are excited for the Testaments episode 8, drop your predictions right now, because who do you think truly breaks in this episode? Agnes, Daisy, Hulda, or Gilead itself? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because episode the 8th of May change everything. So episode the 8th of May include heartbreaking choices, where characters must abandon safety, trust strangers, or risk losing someone they love in order to keep hope alive. And one major theory is that Agnes may receive a chance to escape but at a terrible cost, forcing her to choose between freedom for herself or protecting someone else trapped in Gilead. And if that happens, could become one of the defining scenes of the season, while Daisy may uncover documents, recordings, or testimony that proves how deeply Gilead's reach extends beyond its borders, revealing that the threat is bigger than anyone imagined. And by the final moments of the episode, everything could spiral into chaos, with alarms sounding, secret plans exposed, rests beginning, and key characters separated just when they need each other most, leading to a final cliffhanger, where one person disappears, another is captured, and a hidden message offers the only hope left, making episode 8 the turning point, where the story stops building tension and finally explodes into full rebellion. And if that happens, fans will be talking about this episode long after it ends. And as the episode moves deeper into its final act, the atmosphere could become almost unbearable, because every character may realize there is no turning back anymore. And once secrets begin to move in the open, survival becomes a race against time, with Agnes possibly finding herself in the most dangerous position she has ever faced, standing in a room full of people who expect obedience while hiding thoughts that could get her executed if discovered. And that inner battle alone could create one of the strongest performances of the season, because viewers have watched her slowly transform from fearful and uncertain into someone ready to challenge the system in silence. And episode the 8th of May finally reward that journey with a moment where Agnes speaks or acts in a way no one expected, shocking both allies and enemies alike, while Daisy may be pushed into action faster than she planned, because once the truth is known, waiting is no longer an option, and she could be forced to join a mission, deliver critical information, or help someone escape before authorities close in, showing that Daisy is no longer just reacting to events but helping shape them. And that shift would be massive for her character, especially if she begins to embrace the courage that others already see in her. But perhaps the most gripping scenes may come from Aunt Lydia, whose calm exterior could begin to crack as the pressure around her rises. Because even master strategists reach moments where plans become unpredictable, and if Lydia is forced to choose between protecting herself or protecting the future she has secretly been building, fans may witness one of the most layered and emotional moments of the series.